Welcome to today's video. I'm Gary Wiryawan and right now we're here at this nice location here. This is sort of a restaurant on the countryside. As usual, it's kind of a theme here in my vlog. So this is part of my everyday photography challenge. I'm here with my wife and I thought I want to capture some landscape photographs as well as portrait of my wife. And yeah, I'm bringing my Panasonic GX8 this time. So I never used this camera for my everyday photography challenge before, but now I want to try to use this camera with some lenses. Currently I have the Panasonic 12 to 32mm f3.5 to f5.6 kit lens from the GX85, as well as this guy right here, the Olympus 45mm f1.8 for a little bit of portrait. So yeah, now let's try to shoot something right here. Alright, so I potentially found an interesting composition here. So I kind of want to get this little pond right here and that tree on the middle with the paddy field and the trees on the back. I'm using the GX8 and just a 12 to 32mm right now. Aperture priority, I'm at ISO auto as well, so it's gonna be almost automatic. I'm setting the aperture to f5.6 and I'm going to try to zoom in so that I can focus on that tree on the middle right there. So yeah, just try to focus on that tree and also get a little bit of the pond on the bottom part of the image and just a little bit of the sky above. Very simple. I'm using electronic shutter just to try to keep the camera from getting shutter shock, because GX8 is very prone to shutter shock when using mechanical shutter. So please pardon the noise from the background. There's actually a wedding nearby and the sound system was just blasting crazily. So yeah, something like this. I think I kind of like the composition. I'm gonna try to zoom out to about 14mm and try to see if I can find something nice, maybe something involving a little bit of this pond, but yeah, I couldn't really find anything nice. So I'm gonna try to just focus more on the paddy field situation. I found that 3 little banana trees right there and I want to capture it again with the 32mm of the 12 to 32. I'm still at f5.6, aperture priority, auto ISO, electronic shutter. It's very important to have the electronic shutter on the GX8. So the first composition, I'm gonna put the trees on the lower part of the image, something like this, with more of the sky and less of the paddy field. And for the second composition, I want to try to put the trees a little bit higher on the frame, and I'm going to add a little bit less of the sky and more of the paddy field, something like this. I'm just gonna try to make sure that I'm in focus. Yep, one more time. All right. So very quickly, I want to capture a portrait of my wife. I'm using the 45mm Olympus lens f1.8 and I'm at aperture priority. I'm gonna switch to f2.0 right there. Automatic ISO as usual, electronic shutter, and I'm trying to capture her something like this, almost a full body portrait. I'm gonna try to do a half body portrait, something like this. I'm gonna go a little bit closer so I can get a more pronounced background blur. With the Olympus 45, it's very easy to get that background blur that's really nice for portrait photography like this. And I want to go a little bit even closer and do horizontal kind of portrait, head and shoulder kind of shot like this. One more time. Yep, one more time. Really nice. Can you fix the hair? Yeah, nice. All right, really nice. One more time. Electronic shutter is very important once again to avoid getting that shutter shock. Lagi, lurus. Yep, really nice. One more time. Excellent. So I want to try to capture a portrait of my wife. I'm going to try to add these plants right here as sort of a foreground element to better frame my wife. So I'm still using the 45mm f1.8 and I'm going to try to get a vertical composition, something like this. And yeah, I'm having an exposure composition at about +2 and one of a third kind of stop, something like that, and just to help to brighten the overall exposure. We'll wait until the wind stops blowing, but it's gonna take a while, so we're just going to take it anyway. All right, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. One more time. All right, and I'm going to try to capture horizontal composition, something like that. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Really nice. Alright, so I'm going to try to capture another portrait of my wife with the Olympus 45mm f1.8 and GX8 f2.0. So I'm going to try to add some of the elements from the building as sort of the background. So something like this. Yep, really nice. Just a very simple composition, nothing much. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna step back a little bit and try to have a little bit of more parts of the my wife. So please pardon the noise. There's actually a wedding going on and it's quite loud. So yeah, we're just gonna have to be patient. All right, I'm gonna step back a little bit. All right, really nice. So I potentially found another interesting composition. I'm here at the paddy field pond place where I photographed earlier, and you see over there there's a little hut right there, and I'm going to try to capture it with a little bit of the pond and a little bit of the trees behind. Again, with the Olympus 45mm and the GX8, I'm at aperture priority f2.0. Maybe I'm going to stop it down to about f4 maybe, just to get a little bit more of everything in focus. And I'm just going to do something like this, very simple vertical composition. All right, really nice, really nice. I don't want a lot of the ponds, I just want a little bit of the ponds. Please pardon the noise. There's the wedding that I mentioned earlier. It's quite loud with all the sound system going on. Let's try to capture it one more time. I'm going to try to use horizontal composition this time and try to balance everything on the foreground, midground, and background. Try to place it on the middle, try to place it a little bit to the left, try to place the hut a little bit to the right, and we'll just see in one more vertical but a little bit to the left, vertical but a little bit to the right. And I think I kind of like this composition more than the other, but yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is still from the same place as earlier. I go to a little bit to the right of this location, and you see that tree over there that I photographed earlier. I want to try to recapture it with the Olympus 45mm, and I'm at f4. I'm trying to get that tree with a little bit of these plants on the foreground right here, and with the paddy field and with the trees on the background. So I'm gonna go a little bit lower, try to balance it with these plants right here as sort of the foreground. I want a little bit more of that foreground, so I'm going to drop down the camera a little bit. And it's a little bit dark, so I'm using exposure compensation to about, you know, +4 or something. +1, +2 maybe. Let's try +1 first. All right, there we go. About +1 exposure compensation. Something like that. Yeah, I hope you can see what I'm doing in the camera. Really nice. One more time. Something like that, very simple. Nothing too crazy. And that wraps up today's video. So that is all for today's video. I hope that you find this video to be useful. Please comment down below what you think of the picture today. And also don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, and subscribing to my channel down below. Thank you and see you on the next video.